a bright and sunny mid-afternoon. It's a bit after 3 p.m. Today is Thursday, which means tomorrow's a trash day, and I've been kind of slacking on the yard work, so there's a lot of fallen leaves that we're gonna have to take care of. While I'm out here, I'm also gonna address these ponds. As you saw in the clip a moment ago, the raccoons came back a few nights ago, and while these grates were on and it prevented them from fully getting into the tub, I was not fond of the idea that they were still able to put their hands in the tub through the big holes in the grates. So what I'm going to do is I will be adding a finer mesh netting on this. So this will be the frame, and I'm going to put wrap a netting on it to prevent their little hands from getting all the way through. And I hope that's more effective, because I'm just super paranoid that they'll be able to grab the fish again, and I don't want that happening. And I'm also going to transfer some of the juvenile Medaka rice fish that are in here into the bigger tub to see how they fare, and also because mosquitoes are coming back. Can you see them? See, the little mosquito wigglers are in here, so I want to get some fish in this tub again to get rid of those. Now, before I get started, let me show you my Medaka. The champagne golds are doing well. It's been a couple days now. They've been fine. Feed them so you can see the feeding frenzy. Let's see if I can remove this. There we go. Gonna go. They're all hiding. Wonderful. I'm gonna give some to the fry as well. These are getting big. I'm probably gonna transfer them to the main area. Not this week, probably next week. Another thing I wanted to show off was two other new fish acquisitions. I got these before I got the champagne Medaka, but I keep forgetting to mention that I got them. But first, we got another betta. You can see he's flaring at my yellow one here in the 40 gallon. But this guy is a rescue, technically. He's I think samurai. I think that's what they're called. Samurai betta splendid. He belonged to my partner's boss, and it was one of those impulse buys. His boss got the prettiest looking fish in the store, which unfortunately was a betta, and it got it one of those 2-gallon tank things. And my partner was quick to correct them in that, see, the fish was already in the office, and when he saw that poor betta in a 2-gallon, he immediately spoke to my boss about how not humane it was to keep a betta fish in such a small container. And instead of, going out to get a bigger 10-gallon tank and all the necessary filters and whatnot, my partner's boss just said, hey, why don't you just take the fish instead? And so this fish was brought home with him, and it's now under my care. And I was talking about smaller containers, and of course, obviously this is not a 10-gallon tank. Currently, he's just under quarantine. He's got some salt in this water, and he's been sitting in this water for a couple weeks now. I gotta vacuum up some of the poop in here today. But I'm going to release him into a 5-gallon fluval speck that has been going unused for years, that I'm sure he'll appreciate living in. And the other betta that I acquired recently, the last time I went out to grab crickets from PetSmart, think that was a couple weeks back. It was, I think, not the same day. I think it was the day after I got the samurai here. I got this other betta. It's a female betta. I don't remember her color, what her fin type is called. But she's very beautiful. She's got like this pale pink body, reddish blue fins. She looks great. I think, I don't know if I should put her in with this tank where the other betta fish, the other female betta is. Maybe this tank's big enough that they'll get along, I'm not sure yet, but I've also been thinking about getting rid of this snail haven that it currently is and turning it into a breeding tank. So I want to split this tank into thirds or fourths. So I'll get, 2 to 3 dividers and split it up equally into sections, and that will become the breeding ground for the Medaka. So I'll have the space for them to be separated into their colors and breed and produce eggs. But it's still just a thought. I don't know if I'm going to go through with it because I don't have any appropriate dividers that I could put in here. I mean, a lot of the dividers that I've seen are for bigger fish, and the ones I've seen with the smaller holes that could easily fit into these tanks are pretty expensive. I know Life with Pets has made it a big business selling dividers, but each divider costs like 25 to 30 bucks, and it's a lot, and I need to get 3 to 4 of them, and that all adds up. So I'm not sure how soon I could get those dividers, or maybe I could fabricate dividers myself out of plastic mesh or something. They're just not as durable, which is my concern. But if you have any ideas on where to get some cheap dividers, or affordable dividers, or even just DIY dividers that won't break the bank, let me know in the comments. Black Ranchu still in here, still quarantining. The fungus on her back appears to be gone. I don't really see the fuzzies on her back anymore. I can't tell if it's completely gone or if it's just dyed by the blue. Actually, I think so. You can kind of see the lighter patch on her back. So it's still there. The fungus is still there. It's just kind of dyed darker from the blue water. I did add 3 tablespoons of aquarium salt in here a week ago, and just to up the salinity and get that fungus treated faster. And I'm not sure, maybe I should add a bit more salt, maybe, or maybe start trying some other kind of medication like General Cure or something, or Maricin. What do you guys think? I've been pretty bad at taking care of this area, as you can see. Still got the 2-gallon here. The water went down a bit, but that's just from evaporation, not so much a leak. There's just shrimp and a few Medaka in here, and they're doing fine. A place that I didn't know there were shrimp is this container here. I just threw some like cyanobacteria covered plants in here, just to get out of the way, and something I would deal with later. But what I was unaware of is that I guess some baby shrimp were on these plants, and I don't know if you can see that, but these shrimp have grown up now, and they are adult sized and bright red, and just hanging out in here. Yeah, you can see a few of them in here. So I did nothing to this. I paid no attention to it. I just let it kind of just sit there for weeks, months now. Time goes by so fast, and shrimp just sort of showed up in here. So that just shows you that cherry shrimp can really grow anywhere. Just put them somewhere and they'll thrive. Isn't that amazing? Ooh. It's a lot of leaves. I guess the goldfish are doing okay. All 6 of them. I wonder how cold the water is right now. So it is 50-ish. So it's not that cold. At least we're doing fine. You think they'll make it through the winter? I wonder if I should bring them in. You can see that the lily pads are starting to die back. Ooh. Sludge. Sludge and algae. Lots of that in here. This co-op lazy planter is just covered. Alright, if you can't guess by the change in lighting and the different weather, it's the next day, so it's Friday. I spent a bit longer on the pond than I intended to, so today I'm going to be focusing on these 2 Medaka ponds. I'm going to get an extra mesh, an extra layer of protection on the metal grates here. But we feed some fish while we're at it. The goldfish here are looking very hungry, and I haven't fed them yet today. It's already well past noon. Alright, so I'm going to do a scoop of spirulina pellets. They're 40% spirulina. The rest is various proteins. I try not to feed my goldfish high protein foods because I don't know. I know ranchus are known for their bulbous heads. You can see this one, his head's not quite as bulging. And that's because I don't feed them high protein, high fats. I feed them 40% spirulina pellets, which is basically vegetables, so their diet consists primarily of veggies. And because of that, the growth on their heads aren't as prominent. And I prefer that in my ranchus. That way they can see better. Because with the growth sometimes will blind them, and you'd have to manually cut them away every once in a while, which I'm not a fan of. Alright, and I'm going to do some flakes for the smaller fish and the bottom feeders, and this is like it's a guppy flake mix. I got it from same company as this. It's Aquatic Foods, and it's a mixture of everything. I like it because I like the colors. You can see the colors here kind of look like Fruity Pebbles. And there's like at least 4 different colored flakes in here, and they're all different kinds of content. And it kind of looks like a party, like a New Year's Eve party with all the confetti floating down when I add it. But yeah, it's very healthy for them, and also I like the way it looks. And even though the goldfish is eating some of it, they primarily go after the pellets. And all these flakes will sink down to the bottom for the corridoras and the bristlenose plecos. And here's Dojo, and he just kind of does whatever. Crazy little guy. I love him. You got the little panda Cory there feasting on a flake. I love the pandas. They're so cute. I love corridors in general. One day I'd love to own one type of each corridor. I don't know, there's like a billion of them out there, but it'd be nice to see all the different kinds, especially like the emeralds, the albinos. I do have the Venezuelan black corridors that I want to breed out someday. Yeah, lovely little catfish. Okay, let's get started here. I got my netting. It's the same netting that I used on the pond before I switched up to a steel reinforced net. Got 4-inch zip ties and some scissors. And so I'm gonna put a mesh on these metal grates to further protect them from the hands of little pesky raccoons. I also finally got a stand for camera, so no more shaky cam, no more one-handed things. So let's see how well that works. So I guess you'll be getting shots of my feet the whole time. Don't get too excited. See how it works. Perfect. And so when the raccoon tries to stick their paw in, they won't get through. And hopefully they won't be smart enough to tear through the netting. And now I'm going to do this smaller one as well. Wonderful. Okay. Maybe a few more on these sides. No, I think we're good. Alright. Get that on. Alright. There we go. And I know there's like gaps here and gaps up there that the raccoons can stick their paws through, but I don't think they'd be able to successfully grab anything from there because it's close to the edge and I can't really see what they're grabbing from the edge there. So yeah, we'll see how those work. I think next I'll transfer some of the Medaka from this bin to this bin so that there's a bit of them in each, and also because there's mosquitoes growing in this one and I want to get rid of them, so some fish will need to be added to get rid of them. Let's remove the screens that I just made. If you're wondering about these clips, they're just simple gardening clips. They're rust resistant. They can be outdoors. I've been using these clips for months now and they've been outside and they haven't rusted one bit, so, and it rains a lot here in the Pacific Northwest, so they're pretty good. I guess I'll link to everything in the video description if you guys are interested in getting these supplies. Okay. Let me get a net. Alright, I got 2 nets. I'm going to use this one first, but if I can't grab any, I'll use the big one. This is the aquarium co-op net that they used to sell on their site until they discontinued it because they kept breaking. But I prefer this one because I like the boxiness, and it's a more rigid fabric than... I never really liked the limp mesh fabric of these types of nets, so I'm going to see how many fish I can catch with this one. I should probably fix all these pine needles to get rid of those. Firstly, let's get some fish. We got a few in here. You see them? And there they go. Yep. Got some dwarf lettuce, water lettuce. Oh, we got a few more. Don't know what colors they are. They're hard to see because because the sun's not out, they're a bit duller. These fish rely on sunlight to show their full color. I think in Japan the nickname is the sunfish or something like that, because they look best in full sunlight. Nothing in there. How many did I add? Like 6? Lettuce getting in the way. Got a big one. It's a big one there. There's some string algae in there too. Huh. I think I will switch to the bigger net. Alright. Big net coming. What do we got in here? Just one. One little guy. There has to be about 30 or 50 in here. Last I saw. How many we got in here now? Just one again. Huh. Oh, nope, we got 2. Okay. Got 2. I hate these tiny pine cones. Let's do a few more scoops. Nothing. Nothing. Very evasive, these guys. Okay. Oops. Hope I didn't drop any. Okay. So we got just one. Oh, we got two. Two, three. Oh, we got some smaller ones in here too. I guess some eggs have hatched. I'm gonna get these pine cones out. Yeah, just gross pine cones and sludge. Look at that. Okay. Hold on, you guys. Let me just get rid of all the trash. And then in you go. Alright, let's do one more scoop. Get 3 or 4 more. One. One more. I want to get at least two more. What do we got? And we got 2 more. Great. And there you guys go. There we go. Wonderful. Awesome, okay. And because it's so cold, they're kind of lurking near the bottom of the ponds. And I doubt they're going to be doing any breeding anymore for the rest of the year. I got these mops in here just in case. I'm going to transfer one of them to the other. And I'm going to get a smaller net so I could fish out all the pine needles and whatnot. Okay, I got the smaller net, one of the shrimp nets, to fish out all the pine needles, so time for a time lapse, I guess. Camera stopped filming after a bit, but well, I'm done. So yeah, I cleaned both bins. I'm sure they're gonna get dirty again, full of pine needles, but I'll try to take care of that weekly at least. Keep things clear, not so it doesn't gather too many pine needles and leaves. Lastly, I finished cleaning the pond yesterday, and of course there's leaves everywhere again, but you can look straight into the pond again. It's very brown from the tannins. I did drain it about a third way and filled it with new water, and it's still pretty brown from the tannins of the maple leaves, but the goldfish don't seem bothered by it. They're doing fine. The water's still very cold. I don't know where the thermometer went, but when I checked yesterday, it was about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. Thermometer is right here, and it's a lot colder today, so let's see how cold it is now. It is, yeah, still about 50 Fahrenheit, 10 Celsius. And the goldfish seem to be doing fine. I don't know when I should start taking them in when it gets too cold. I've got some algicide coming in the mail too, because there's a ton of... I pulled out a ton of hair algae yesterday, and I don't want that algae building up. Actually, pulled out a rock yesterday here that was just caked in hair algae. Pulled it out and put it to the side so I could let the algae die. Yeah, hair algae, it's nice to look at, but I just don't want it clogging up everything. It was clogging up the pump that fed the fountain over here, and I don't want the filter to stop running because of all the algae clogging things up, so I'm hoping that algicide that I ordered will help. There are more mushroom pieces over here. I don't know if it's squirrels or raccoons, and where are these mushrooms coming from even? Huh. I guess it must be just growing around here overnight, and that's when the animals come by to pluck them up. But yeah, looks like there's the root of one is over here, so I guess there's just mushrooms growing here. I wonder if it's because that's where I usually drain out the water when I'm doing water changes, and so it's just causing mushrooms to grow here. That's pretty neat. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this video, and if you made it all the way to the end here, thank you so much for taking the time to view my video and watch it. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Follow, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell, whatnot. As usual, I have my throne wish list in the video description if you want to help me out with my fish keeping while I continue searching for a job. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and see you later.